Now, next thing that I'll show you through here is how we can change individual panels. So if I hovered over here and if I press tab, you can see I can tab so I can select just that panel. Do that again. If I'm hovering here, I've got the whole wall selected. If I press tab, I can select just the panel and I've got that panel selected, so I can see the panel that I'm using is System Panel Glazed. And if we went into Edit System Panel Glazed, here's the values that we fixed up before, 6 and 52. Okay, so if I go to this top panel up here and tab through again until I get that top panel, I might decide to make these top panels something different. So if I drop that down and go System Panel Solid, so we'll make these top panels solid. But I'll probably do that out of an aluminium composite material. To match the glass thickness, you can get a 6mm thick aluminium composite material which matches the glazing material. So once again I'll change the thickness here to 6 and then the offset to 52, and we could then decide assign a material here as well, but for the purposes of this video we'll just leave it as default. But if we click OK to that, you can see that we've got, well, I will actually make a different material that's a little bit better on the eyes to see than that one. So we'll go in here, we'll edit type, and in that material we'll just pick aluminium or something like that to make it a bit easier to see. So if I just type up the top here, ALU, there's aluminium, and click OK, and click OK. So that panel up the top there is an aluminium panel. Depends which way the light's coming from, I suppose. I haven't got shadows turned on down here, I don't think. I think I'll leave shadows turned off. There's an aluminium panel, and the rest of them are glazed at the moment. Now you can match properties here now. So if you went and tabbed through to that and come up to match properties, I think, is it where's my match properties? Hit this one here. So match type properties. So if you select match type properties there, select an object to copy its type, which would be this object here. So if we just tab through and click, we've now copied the object's type, and then we can click in all of these, and it makes it fairly easy. You don't have to use your tab to find these because it knows that it's a panel type that you're trying to select. Okay. So the next thing we'll do in this video is we'll have a look at starting to add some extra geometry now to some of the panels. So I'll pick one of these panels here. There's something we've got to do first though. So I'll tab through one of these panels using the tab key, so I can select one of those panels there. And you'll notice up the top here, you'd expect to see an edit family button through there at some stages. This just at the moment allows you to edit that panel in place because it's a system panel at the moment. You can go edit that in place, and then you could find that extrusion, and then you could make that glass panel just look that big if you wanted to. I'll just remove constraints there and finish that model. And then we'd have to go back and fix the material and everything up, but we can do that. I'm just going to undo that now, so I didn't really want you to do that. I'll just select a different panel here just in case now, so I'll just tab through. So I've got this panel selected here at the moment, and you can see that button edit in place is up there if you wanted to change the shape of the glass without actually loading in a different family. But what I want to do is actually play around with the geometry that makes up that, and let's have a look at how we might do that. Once again, if you go into edit type here at the moment, you can see now I would also once again normally expect to be able to click this load button so I could load a new family in, but it's grayed out there at the moment. And if I drop down this family selector down the top here, I'll notice that these are system families. There's system family walls and system panels and everything. The system panels are ones that are built in to the Revit model by default, and they're not ones that we load as our own components. So there's not much I can do there at the moment, so other than what we've already done in changing the thickness and the offset. So I'm just going to cancel out of that, and I'm not too sure why Revit won't let us add a new family that way. That's the way I would intuitively expect it would have done it. But to make it let us do that, what we have to do is first of all just put another family into the drawing by loading it in another manual way. So if you go to your Insert tab at the top here and go Load Family, it works similar to those other Load Family buttons that were greyed out before, but this time it's not going to directly apply it to that panel. So if I click in here and go Load Family, and if you're in your Metric Library shortcut, if you go to Curtain Wall Panels, and just, there's all sorts of, this is how you add doors to curtain walls. You just select a different type of panel, but we're just going to stay with a glazed panel here for the moment. So if I just go for that glazed panel and click Open, the glazed panel, I'll show you how that happens down in the families through here. So under Curtain Panels in Families, if we have a look through there, before we only had the System panel showing up, and there was the glazed and the solid System panel that we've been using. But now we've got a new panel called Glazed Panel showing up through here. So this glazed panel is now not a System panel, and I'll show you what we can do with that now. If we can select any of these panels, go back to tab, I'm using my tab key to select that panel again, and now we can drop down the drop down selector, and we can then, we're using the System panel glazed at the moment, but you'll see up above here under Curtain Walls we've now got a glazed panel, and we can select the type underneath that glazed panel. So that particular one that I've got highlighted there is now the glazed panel, not the System panel. And you'll notice straight away that it now brings open Edit Family, not Edit in Place. So that's the third one from the back there. If I just hover over and tab through here now, this says Edit in Place. It just lets you edit the extrusion of the sheet of glass. But now this one here, if I click on that one, that says Edit Family, and that's going to allow us to add different geometry to the family that the System panel won't let us do. I'll select this panel, tab through and select that panel there now, and I'll before I go into Edit Family, and you can see we've got the Edit Family button there, I will go into Edit Type and change these settings again. So we had an offset of 52 to match our other ones, and we've got a thickness of 6. And I'll click Apply and click OK. So this panel now really looks exactly the same as the System panel, but it's not a System panel. It's a glazed panel. It's a curtain wall panel that we can change and add geometry to. So if I select it, selecting that panel through there, I can now click Edit Family, whereas the other one was only letting me edit in place. So if I click Edit Family, it opens up the family editor through there, and all it is in 3D here is it's a plain simple sheet of glass there at the moment. If I open up the views over here and open up floor plans, I'll double click on the only floor plan that's there called Baseline, and I can see my sheet of glass now in floor plan. I can see that it's 6mm thick and it's offset 52mm away from the center line of the wall. The exterior side's to the upper side. So if I was looking at an exterior elevation, this side reference plane here would be called the right hand side. That would be the right hand part of the window looking from the outside. I'm not too sure if I'll need that, but I might, while I'm there, click where it says click to add name, or you can come over here, identify name, and type in name there. But you can click where it says click to name, and I'm going to call that one the right. I'll call this one the center, and I'll call this one, now it looks like there's a couple of different things on, oh no there's not, okay, so, and I'll call this one the left. Now it looks like I've got my rights and my lefts mixed up there, but that's because if I was on the outside looking towards the window, which is a normal convention, then this would be on my right hand side and this would be on my left hand side. So we'll just have to remember that we're a bit mixed up in terms of what way round.